Stop what you're doing and grab your tea, because the Smith family dynasty isn't just crumbling, it's being dismantled from the inside out in front of the entire world. What we just witnessed in Paris wasn't a fashion moment. It was a high-definition psychological glitch. Jaden Smith is officially done being the Prince of Hollywood, and the secrets he's finally leaking about Jada and the Smith protocol are about to burn the red table to the ground. Is Jaden a visionary, or is he a victim of the most sophisticated industry programming we've ever seen? From the $47,000 dollhouse to the entanglements that D.L. Hughley calls predatory, we are diving deep into the dark architecture of a childhood that was never his own. This isn't a gossip video, this is the autopsy of an empire. Let's get into it. Let's look at the footage that has the entire industry whispering. Jaden Smith, the newly appointed creative consultant for the 2026 Christian Louboutin men's collection, was supposed to be celebrating. But on the red carpet, the mask slipped. When a reporter asked a completely professional question about working with Steven Smith, the man who essentially built the Yeezy aesthetic.
I see that you're working with Steven Smith who designed Yeezy footwear with Ye. What are y'all cooking up?
Jaden didn't just walk away. He disassociated. He looked through that reporter as if she were a ghost, turned his back, and vanished into the night. Why? Sources in the Parisian truth circles are saying that Steven Smith was a trigger word. Why? Because Steven Smith represents a world outside of the Will and Jada control pod. He represents the Kanye era, the era of industry rebels. For Jaden, who has been handled by his parents since he was in diapers, the mention of a real industry titan who isn't on the Smith payroll reportedly caused a total mental shutdown. He isn't acting like a diva, he's acting like a man whose programming just hit a fatal error. But we can't talk about Jaden without talking about the woman who built him. D.L. Hughley recently set the internet on fire with a take that was as brutal as it was honest. D.L. didn't hold back, blaming Jada directly for messing up Jaden with her disturbing antics. Let's look at the facts that the red table tried to spin into healing. D.L. Hughley pointed out the massive double standard regarding the August Alsina situation. We called it an entanglement because Jada gave us that word. But D.L. is asking the question everyone else is too scared to voice: what if the genders were reversed? Imagine, for 1 second, if Will Smith had brought one of Willow's 20-year-old female friends, someone who was physically ill and mentally fragile, into his bedroom for a healing entanglement. The feds would have been at the door before the sun went down. But Jada? She turned it into a viral episode. D.L. Hughley claims Jada was essentially preying on a young man her son's age, a man Jaden himself introduced to the house. The psychological damage of having your mother view your social circle as a recruitment center for her own desires is something no child can recover from easily. Jaden isn't eccentric, he's a son who saw his mother turn his best friend into a topic of conversation for Facebook Watch. And then, we have the fashion. In early 2026, Jaden was spotted carrying a miniature dollhouse bag worth $47,000.
I got this new amazing bag here. We got a freaking balcony on it. We got an owl on it.
On the surface, it's avant-garde. But in the world of deep dive gossip, this is a glaring red flag. Why a dollhouse? Why a house that is too small to live in, yet costs more than a family car? Analysts are calling this the architecture of stunted growth. Jaden is carrying a house because he never had a home. He had a set. He had a leadership academy. He had a brand compound. But he never had a place where the cameras weren't rolling. The dollhouse is a symbol of his imprisoned childhood. He is literally carrying the weight of his upbringing on his arm, and it's a house where the doors are locked from the outside. When he was caught on camera losing his mind over a bit of hail in Paris, acting like he'd never seen a weather event, it wasn't cute. It was a sign of someone who has been raised in a controlled simulation for 27 years. He's a man who has finally stepped outside, and he doesn't know how to handle the rain. To understand the 2026 Jaden, you have to look at the 2008 Jaden. We have to talk about the New Village Leadership Academy. Will and Jada founded this school, claiming they wanted to revolutionize education. But what they actually built was a Scientology Light boot camp for their children. The teachers were exposed as high-level Scientologists. The curriculum was based on study tech, a methodology created by L. Ron Hubbard. Parents of other students eventually fled, claiming the school was creepy and controlling. But Jaden and Willow didn't have a choice. They were the pilot projects. Actress Leah Remini, who famously escaped the church, confirmed that Jada was in for a long time. She described a night at Tom Cruise's house, where grown adults were forced to play hide-and-seek in a 7,000 square foot mansion. Leah refused to play, but Jada was reportedly all in. This is the environment Jaden was socialized in, a world where play is a psychological drill and education is industry programming. When you look at Jaden's blank stares in 2026, you aren't seeing a lack of intelligence. You are seeing the result of study tech, a mind that has been taught to block out any information that doesn't fit the protocol. We also have to address the Jaguar right of it all. Back in 2024 and 2025, Jaguar was screaming about the dark rooms of Hollywood. She insinuated that Will and Jada traded their children's peace for a permanent A-list status.
Doing things to boys and did stuff to your son and you ain't do shit about it. Bilal told me everything.
In 2026, as the industry investigations into the old guard moguls continue to leak, Jaguar's claims are starting to look like a roadmap. She suggested that Jaden and Justin Bieber were both subjected to the same industry handlers, people who specialize in breaking young stars so they can be easily managed. The video of Jaden and Justin at Coachella wasn't just two friends hugging. It was two survivors recognizing each other. Bieber escaped into marriage and faith. But Jaden? Jaden is still in the middle of the Smith machine. And according to industry whispers, he's finally trying to file for a legacy severance, a legal move to divorce his parents entirely and reclaim his own name. Then there's Will, the man who spent 30 years building the Dad of the Year brand. But have you noticed how Jaden flinches? In 2025 and 2026, several videos have surfaced where Will tries to be affectionate in public, kissing Jaden, holding him, performing radical love for the paparazzi. But Jaden's body language is that of a hostage. He tenses up. He looks for an exit. There is a growing theory that Will's affection isn't about Jaden, it's about Will's redemption. Since that slap at the Oscars, Will has been desperate to prove he is a good, loving man. And who better to use as a prop than his own son? Jaden is being forced to carry the weight of his father's comeback, while his mother carries the weight of her own wellness brand. Jaden isn't a son anymore, he's a PR asset. And assets eventually crash. Let's go back to August Alsina's 2020 docuseries, State of Emergency. August revealed that he was a man struggling with severe depression, thoughts of suicide, and a crumbling support system. He went to the Smiths for help. Jaden introduced him to Jada as a friend. And what did Jada do? According to D.L. Hughley and dozens of industry analysts, she took a vulnerable, traumatized young man and entangled him. But it's worse than that. She then took his secrets, the trauma he shared in confidence, and broadcast them to the world for clout and ratings. Think about the message that's sent to Jaden: your friends aren't safe here. Your trauma is content. Nothing is sacred. This is why Jaden walks away from reporters in 2026. He has been taught that every word he speaks will eventually be used against him on a red table special. His silence is his only shield. Industry insiders are now reporting that the Smith household is in a state of total civil war. Jaden has allegedly moved out of the family compound and is living in a high-security loft in Tokyo, communicating with his parents only through legal representatives. The rumor mill is buzzing about a tell-all manifesto Jaden has been writing. It's not a book for fans, it's a legal document. He is reportedly trying to find a way to sever the financial ties that bind him to Overbrook Entertainment. He wants to be Jaden, no last name, no Smith brand, no Fresh Prince legacy. He is carrying a dollhouse because he is ready to burn the real house down. He is wearing the biometric masks because he wants to hide his face from a world that has owned it since he was a child. 2026 is the year Jaden Smith finally stops being a product and starts being a person, but the price of that freedom is a total mental collapse. And let's not forget Willow. While Jaden is the public breakdown, Willow has become the silent witness. She's retreated into the mountains, she's stopped her red table appearances, and she's reportedly the one funding Jaden's legal team. The two of them have formed what insiders call the sibling pact. They are the only ones who know what happened inside the New Village Leadership Academy. They are the only ones who know what Jada was doing while Will was in Africa or Europe filming blockbusters. If Jaden goes public with the architecture of trauma within that house, the Smith family will be the biggest cancelled entity in the history of Hollywood. And Willow is reportedly the one holding the match. So, where do we stand? As we watch the 2026 headlines, the question isn't whether Jaden is weird. The question is, who wouldn't be? If you were raised in a Scientology-adjacent school, used as a scouting agent for your mother's entanglements, and forced to be the PR shield for your father's perfect dad image, would you be carrying a dollhouse? Would you be walking out on reporters? D.L. Hughley and Jaguar Wright were right all along. The parents were doing everything except parenting. They were building a brand, while their son's soul was being stripped for parts. Jaden's 2026 breakdown is actually the most honest thing he's ever done. He is finally refusing to perform. He is finally walking away from the camera. The Smith protocol is dead. The simulation is over. And for Jaden Smith, the real life, the one without that Smith name, is just beginning. But the question remains, will the industry let him go, or will the handlers find a way to plug him back in? What do you think? Is Jaden Smith a traumatized survivor of the Hollywood machine? Is Jada the predatory mother that D.L. Hughley claims? And do you believe the rumors about the legacy severance lawsuit? Drop your comments below. We are monitoring the court filings, we are watching the fashion shows, and we are waiting for the red table to finally go dark. I'll see you in the next deep dive. Stay woke, stay skeptical, and keep your tea hot. The empire is falling, and we're here for every second of it.